Good morning, you lovely people on the internet. Here we go, day 2. Gonna check to see if it's just as bad as it was yesterday. But like I said, I'm gonna keep doing it every day just to see if it gets any better. Give it about 2, maybe 3 days, and then go from there. Right, here we go. She's a bit rough to begin with. Right, I'll eat my words. She started up on the button. She hasn't done that since we put it back together. So fingers crossed. Let's hope we've solved the problem. Okay, you lovely people, I'm going to let her warm up and I'll bring you back. Right, as you can see, it's come up with a load of codes. I'll go through them with you, just so we can see what they are. Okay, got no idea what that is, but I will look up all these codes on Google because it's just easier that way. So I'll just go through them. So I've got them on video. But the main one is this top one because it's to do with the engine management and ECU and everything else. So this is quite important. Right, it hasn't done its OBD2 cycle, not complete yet. What that is it's its own emissions test, basically. So again, it's a code that will disappear after you run the car at certain miles per hour, like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and then it'll do its own cycle. Once it's done that, this code will disappear. As you'll see, if I go to wipe it, this code here, instead of red, I'll just show you quickly. Yeah, so instead of, oh, sorry about this, it's all touch screen. So yeah, instead of red, I'm going to go to delete codes, and this one will turn from red to yellow. Okay, stuck on red, but even so, it still needs to do its own emissions test. So it's not a problem. It's not a code that you have to worry about. You can look it up yourself. It's a P1000 code, and it will tell you a lot more information that I can give you. It's got something to do with the emissions. So nothing to worry about. She's all good. I brought you back in this video because she's all nice and hot now. So I'm going to start it back up and then see if she smokes like she did. Let the idle calm down a bit. Bear in mind, people, it is cold out here today, so what smoke I think you're seeing is just condensation compared to the last clip that's on this video. Like you could see, it was smoking like a chimney. So fingers crossed, we've solved the problem. Let's have a look. Right, as you can see, we've still got smoke coming out of it, so we'll give it one more day and see how she goes. So I will come back here tomorrow, start her up, let her warm up, and see if we still got the same problem. It's looking like it's going to be the head, either the head gasket or the heads just needs reseating probably. Sometimes you do have to go back to the head bolts and just tweak them after they've been through their heat cycle. So after tomorrow, if it still smokes, that's what I'll be doing. I'll strip the engine down again. It's only the top of the engine, it's not a problem, and the front of the engine, so we can get to the chain and yeah, go from there. But again, I'll bring you along for the ride. It's not a problem. Like I said, I want to show you everything because it's not always happy. Stuff happens, so this is one of the stuff that's happened. And also, just so you know everything what's going on, right, as you know, we refurbished the clutch and everything else, the gearbox, everything. We've put the gearbox all back together. Unfortunately, it won't go into gear. It's going into gear now because I haven't got a wheel on the front of the car, so this wheel can spin freely. That's why I can stick it in gear and no problem. But if it was on the floor with the wheel, I wouldn't be able to stick it in gear. But the reason being I'm telling you this is so you know, and you might not make the same mistake that we have. I've made it all through my career. I've done it once or twice, I think, and had to redo it. Now this is the problem. When we installed the clutch, before you install that, the flywheel and everything else, 9 times out of 10 they come with, I think they're called shims or shoes or something like that. And this is it. This little plate sits behind the flywheel and goes onto your crank. So this little plate is stopping us from sticking it in gear. So a little like in the cloud, one thing we haven't done is stick gearbox oil in the gearbox. So one silver lining, we don't have to drain the oil again. We can just take the gearbox off, take the clutch off, take the flywheel off, put this behind the flywheel and put it all back together. So the reason I'm telling you this, people, is so you don't make the same mistake. I would say 90% of cars have got these behind the flywheel. I have done a car or two, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think I've done a car or two without these. This is why I didn't check, basically. I should have. I'm the adult, I'm the professional. I'm the one that should have checked and made sure that this went on, or if it had one at least. I didn't do that, so it's my fault as much as the young mechanic. So I'm not blaming anyone. It's a mistake that you make, but at least he won't make that mistake again, because as soon as I showed him this piece, he knew exactly, and I didn't have to say anything. I showed him the piece and he knew why it wasn't going in gear. So much more to come on this car, and yeah, see you soon. Hey yo! It's alright. We'll see him in a minute. Hey yo! Hello.
You want one, don't you, babe?
Oh, so badly. So badly. He's gorgeous. So, you lovely people, here we go. Nice and running again. All up there. She's searching a bit just because we ain't got the airbox on her. Stuff like that. But we're there. And as you can see, no smoke.